Hello everybody, welcome to another Ask Melly segment. So here is where I answer your questions about your emotions so you can take control of your life the feminine way. Now today we're going to look at jealousy and how to free yourself from the green-eyed monster. Now I want to talk about this because jealousy, it has a bad rap. It's perceived to be a highly negative emotion, which tends to turn people against each other. And let's face it, all throughout history, there has been so many instances woven into our stories about how jealousy has destroyed relationships, destroyed societies. It comes across as a very destructive emotion. But I don't believe this to be the case 100% of the time. I honestly don't believe any emotion is bad. It's what we do with it that turns it into either a negative or a positive thing. So this then brings up that if jealousy becomes a negative, it's a behavior. So what we actually need to acknowledge is the destructive behavior that comes with jealousy. But what happens when it's not destructive? Like I said, it could be either. Then it can actually become a motivating factor. And this is what I love so much about jealousy, that it doesn't have to be destructive. It can actually be a driving force of action in your life. So where does it happen? How does it actually differentiate between a positive and a negative? The negative portion of jealousy comes from pain. It comes from that mindset of competition, that mindset of lack. It's those stories we tell ourselves of, you have something I want, there is not enough of it in the world, therefore I must take. That lack mentality then brings out the worst behaviors in people. And that's where we get the jealousy having this very bad rap. It is a very destructive mentality of lack, of not enough. But if you use jealousy as a motivating factor, it actually comes from pleasure. It comes from this mindset of happiness, that you have something that is amazing and beautiful and I'm so happy for you and I want some of that too, please. It's almost like a wish list to the universe where you get to point at something and go, she is freaking awesome. Look what she just did. I want some of that too. I want to feel what she's feeling right now. There's no lack mentality there. There's no take. It is simply a driving force for you to then move forward. So how do you resolve it then if you're stuck in the negative portion of it? How do you get past this lack mentality, this competition mindset, when jealousy rears its head and the green-eyed monster becomes present? This is where we have to cycle through our stages of self. And I know I talk about it a lot because it is honestly the solution to taking control of our life in a feminine way. It's by moving through our stages of self, we can turn any emotion into something positive. So if you're stuck in that pain, that lack mentality, that competition mindset, and jealousy is really getting to you, first thing you need to do is address the fear. What is the fear behind this jealousy? Is it a fear of not enough? That this other person has something you want, and because they have it, therefore you can't? Look for the fear at the base of all of the jealousy that's going on. Now, when I say that, I'm not saying go into the fear. I don't believe anybody should have to go back into their trauma or their triggers or anything like that. Just acknowledge it. Give it a name. It's amazing how powerful it is just to give something a name. Oh, excuse me, guys. So once you've given this fear a name, maybe it is the fear of lack, that there is not enough. Simply naming that fear is enough to acknowledge it. Then you can step into stage 2, which is forgive. Am I back? I'm back. So forgive yourself for having this fear. Forgive yourself for the fact it was there in the first place. We are human. These emotions are normal. There is no shame and guilt attached to the fact that you can be jealous at times, because what you do with it is up to you. So once you've found that forgiveness for self, you step into stage 3, which is self-belief. And I love the self-belief phase. And as an archetype, I describe this as the wild woman stage of self, because she is powerful. She says, I am, I can, I will. It's all these really strong elements. After we have stage 3, the wild woman, we step into stage 4, which is the future vision. If we've unraveled the pain of our jealousy, we've forgiven ourselves for it, we know we are strong and capable and we can get what we want. What does that future vision then look like? What could it be? It's a highly intuitive stage, because we get to unleash our imagination and go, well, what does my version of that thing look like? If we can both have it, what does mine look like? And then we step into the final stage of self, our sorceress archetype, which is our action steps. That is where we go, okay, I've seen my version of what she has. I want that too. This is what I'm going to do to get it. And that is how we move through jealousy and turn it from a negative into a positive emotion, a driving factor rather than a self-defeating, destructive behavior. So my biggest learning when it comes to jealousy is that motivating factor is so powerful, and that you can be happy for somebody else and everything they have, and at the same time hold a bit of jealousy because you want that too. You can have both emotions sitting side by side, and they don't need to be destructive at all. And I love viewing jealousy now as that the wish list to the universe. That hit of jealousy comes in, you go, I want that too, please. She looks amazing. She looks like she's enjoying that. I want some of that too, please. No taking is involved at all. It is simply a wish list for the universe. Now, I'm going to leave it at that for today, but if you need any help understanding and moving through your own emotions so you can take control of your life in the feminine way, then join us every week, 9 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, right here on the platform that you're watching it, or jump over to mellys.com.au for all things stages of self. Love and kindness, everyone. Mwah.